Hey everyone, number 96 on my 100 greatest songs of all time is Mother by Pink Floyd. Um, Mother is a song on their album The Wall from 1980. A song that, sorry, an album that was given to me by a, f- a f- my dad, my friend's dad on cassette, and I listened to it, and it's still one of my favorite albums today, to this day. And I am. It's a concept album, and not many of them work. And if some of them do work, they kind of sway a little bit off the idea of the concept. But the the Wall is about a character called Pink, which seems to be about the kind of alter ego of the main songwriter for the album, Roger Waters. But the song Mother in particular comes early on. I think it's around the sixth song on the album. I think it is the sixth song on the album, and it's about a young boy growing up during World War II, and he's in the middle of the bombing raids and stuff, and he's got endless questions for his mother, and the questions seem to go on unanswered until the song opens up, and Dave Gilmour, the guitarist for Pink Floyd and also singer, sings the mother's part, and the mother's part is quite worrying. She's very overbearing, and she, rather than, I suppose, allaying his fears, she's literally, she says in the song, she's going to put all of her fears into you. And as the album progresses, you figure out why Pink ends up the way he does, and the mother appears again later on in the album in the song called The Trial, where a lot of characters turn up. But it's a very, very simple song structurally, and the chords are very simple, straightforward. It starts with a G, and it goes to a C, and then it'll go to D, and then back to G. So the start of it is like the first line. Mother, do you think they'll drop the bomb? Which is quite a worry straight away. So, Mother, do you think they'll like this song? And then it'll go into, after a couple of lines, it goes into, ooh, mother, should I build a wall? So the wall is constantly mentioned throughout the album, obviously it being the title and the concept of the wall, to separate him from society and from all these fears and worries that he's got. And some of the lines are absolutely brilliant. If you hear it live, the audience participation is amazing in it. But he asks about, Mother, do you think they'll try to break my balls? Mother, should I run for president? Mother, should I trust the government? Mother, will they put me in the firing line? Is it just a waste of time? And that's the first two verses. And then in comes the mother's part, and immediately goes into the kind of idea of a lullaby, hush now, baby, baby, don't you cry. Mama's gonna put all of her fears into you. Mama's gonna keep you right here under her wing. She won't let you fly, but she might let you sing. Mama's gonna keep baby cozy and warm. And then it goes back into D. Ooh, babe, ooh, babe. And then probably the most telling line, ooh, babe, of course Mama's gonna help build a wall. Which obviously is the very suggestion that an overbearing mother would try to separate their son, in this case, from the outside world, and the anxiety that she has is going to be put onto him. In the recording of the song, and I couldn't use the acoustic guitar today because one of the strings broke. I got terrible strings for the acoustic guitar, but I couldn't use it to just demonstrate the kind of just the gentle strum of it. And Roger Waters is the bass player primarily in Pink Floyd, but he plays acoustic guitar in this, and it's just, as you can imagine, just going from C to G to F to D to C. It's quite straightforward, but it's very slow and gentle, and it's something kind of lullaby about it. And it's always struck me as, when it kicks into the solo, when he says, or when the mother says, Mama's going to help build the wall, the solo is probably one of his more, David Gilmour's amazing guitarist, one of his more underrated solos, because it comes on an album where Comfortably Numb is on it, and that's like one of the most revered solos ever. Not just Pink Floyd, but just in general in the world of solos. But the tone he has on the guitar in this is so amazing, and it's like the idea of like someone saying like, of course Mama's going to help build the wall, which is kind of demented sounding, to the flight that it takes. And they talk about early on in the wall, the album, talk about the goodbye blue sky and stuff. He mentions the sky, and he mentions the threat that's coming up above now of the planes in this case. So imagining the German planes for the World War II, and this soaring guitar solo comes in, and it's like it just breaks all this tension, because it is a very tense song, even though it does come into that. Because I always think when it comes out to the that is so like expansive in tone, and really like beautiful sounding. And I think when like an open D chord is played, it kind of opens it up. But the underlying threat of the mother character is keeping that at bay. But then the guitar solo comes in and plays over those chords, and it's amazing. And if you listen to the live version of it, it's very, very haunting. But then he goes on, and the kind of idea of him growing up or becoming a teen. He starts asking, Mother, do you think she's good enough for me? Mother, do you think she's dangerous to me? Mother, will she tear your little boy apart? Ooh, mother, will she break my heart? And she comes back in then and says, hush now, baby, baby, don't you cry. Mama's gonna check out of your girlfriends for you. Mama's won't let anyone dirty get through. What a line. Mama's gonna wait here until you get in. Mama will always find out where you've been. Mama's gonna keep baby healthy and clean. So, Mama won't let anyone dirty get through is a vicious line. So, all of this as he's growing up within the song, he's imagining of what he can be as a teenager, the people he'll have in his lives, and what his mother will do to maybe stifle that or maybe protect him and all this stuff, because he's gone a young boy, but he's messed up in the head already from her overbearingness, if that's a word. So the last line in the song, it goes back to ooh baby, you'll always be baby to me, she says. But then his last line is mother, did it need to be so high? The wall, like, did it need to be so high? Because now he can't get out. And this is like the 6th song off a double album that has loads more to go. And in this song alone, it almost explains the destructive nature of the relationship between Pink and his mother, and what he will face going forward. And it's done in probably, like, I don't think, so Roger Waters, like I said, wrote most of the album, and he writes probably, considering Pink Floyd had Syd Barrett and they had David Gilmour doing writing as well, he's less complicated in the song structure. So because it's a concept album, C and G and F come up a lot in it, and he allows the whole weight of what he's saying in the song about Pink and his mother to play out over something very simple and straightforward, almost lullaby-like. Don't like to use that word on this like song, but it almost is soothing in the gentle sways of the chord changes. We're so used to chord changes from G to C to D to C to D to G to F to C. It's a very basic, strong song structure written down by something amazing, and it's that like That's like such a straightforward pattern, followed by so much. Like if you were to psychoanalyze this whole song, it means so much. So hope you enjoyed listening to this, and thank you for allowing me to not have to restring my acoustic guitar for it. You had no choice, but I just had to use the piano for it instead. But it's all good. You got what I meant. Thank you very much. Subscribe to the channel if you will, and tell all your friends. All right, bye.